A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, today we meet again and we'll talk about teaching macro skill of English reading comprehension in the subject of issues in language teaching and learning. The key areas to teach macro skill of English reading comprehension consist of understanding main idea, making inferences, summarizing, and critical thinking analysis, identifying the author purpose and tone, and so on. And we'll talk about this one by one. We'd like to see what is the problem, and also we'd like to find out the solution. Okay, the first macro skill is understanding main idea. Students often struggle to identify the main idea of the passage, especially when it is not explicitly stated or when they are not when the text complex and full of detail. If you find such kind of thing, then the solution, maybe the first one will be teach students to use strategies like skimming and scanning to identify the idea. And then the second one, encourage them to ask what is the passage mostly about, or what is the passage mainly concerned. And the last one, I think if you have problem, you should practice summarizing the paragraph or section of a text in one sentence. Then the second macro skill is making inferences. Inference making requires students to read between the line, which is difficult for those who prefer explicit information. Some students might need help understanding how to use clues in the text to infer meaning. The solution is for you teach such kind of macro skill, then better for you to start teaching students to recognize explicit information before moving to the implicit ideas. Use the guided practice with question and to lead the inferences. I think this is the way how you would like to do this one. If you do that one, I think it will help you. And I think better for you to provide practice with various type of tag in order to be able to make inferences. And then after that, understanding text structure. It is important for you to understand the text structure. And usually students have a problem to identify. In this case, the student may not recognize different text structure. For example, it is a text cause of effect or comparison and contrast, or how they contribute to the meaning of the text. If you have this problem in teaching the student, then better for you first to explicitly teach different text structure using signal word or phrases. Then the second one, better for you to provide example of text structure and practice identifying them in various texts. Use graph organizer like Venn diagram, flowchart, cause effect chain to help students to visualize and organize information according to the text structure. Then the next macro skill that you may teach to your student is about recognizing the relationship between ideas. Students commonly have problem. They may often fail to see how different parts of text are connected, which can lead to confusion or misinterpretation of the text. If you have when you teach, you have problem this kind of thing, then better for you to teach students to look for transitional word or phrases that signal relationship between ideas. For instance, however, therefore, in contrast, or as a result. And then practice mapping, put relationship using graph organizer, or mind map. And then encourage your student to verbalize how ideas in the text are connected. Then, after that, the next skill is identifying author, purpose, or tone. Commonly, students have a problem with this one in discerning the author purpose. It is whether it is to inform, to persuade, or maybe to explain, or maybe to entertain. Tone is like it is sarcastic, serious, or humorous in a text. Usually, students have a problem this kind of thing. Then better if you teach students with this kind of thing, then better for you to to find some solution if you face the problem by introduce and practice identifying different types of purpose and tone of various texts. And then use equation, use question like, why did the author write this? Or maybe you can also provide example of different types of text. By having that kind of thing, I think you will be able to teach your student what is the author, purpose, and tone. And then the next macro skill is thinking skill and analysis. Thinking skill and analysis. In this case, usually readers should be able to have a critical thinking. Because critical thinking requires students to evaluate and question the context of the text, which can be challenging if they are used to passive. Yeah, they are used to passive reading. Many students may struggle to engage critically with the text to question the author assumption and also argument. If you find this kind of thing, I think you have to teach your student by encouraging active reading strategies, such as annotating the text with question, comment, and connectors. Teach the student to evaluate the text credibility and also recognize the bias and also unsupported ideas. If the student can identify such kind of thing, then it will help the student to be able to think critically. You make analysis, and you can also use Socratic questioning by W8 question: what, when, why, how, and so on. And the next macro skill that you have to teach for students if you are teaching reading comprehension is synthesizing information. Synthesize involves combination information from multiple parts of the text, from different texts to form a new understanding. Students may need help integrating information or combining too much or too little, leading to unsupportive or unsupported conclusion. If you find such kind of thing, you have problem teaching this one, then better for you to teach synthesis by starting to simple tasks, such as combining information from 2 paragraphs before moving to the more complex. So start from the very little one, try to identify, combine idea one to the paragraph, and then try to express in the idea by your own word or your student word. Then by having such kind of thing, it will help to train your student skill of synthesizing information. After that, we'll teach the student macro skill about monitoring comprehension. Many students are aware when they are not comprehending the text or may not know how to use the strategy to improve their understanding. If they do not know how to improve their understanding, then better for you to teach self-monitoring strategies, such as using pausing to summarize, asking question, or reading confusion text. So if you ask the student to not understand, then better for you to train them to pause to summarize, or asking question, or reading the confusion text. If you find the thing, then you read it. By doing kind of strategies, I think you can increase your student monitoring comprehension. The next macro skill is relating text to the background of knowledge. Usually, students have problem in relating text to the background of knowledge. Students may need more background of knowledge to understand or relate to the text, especially if the context is unfamiliar and complex. If you have such kind of problem, then better for you to ask your student to build background knowledge before reading the through discussion multimedia resources on reading activities. Then maybe you can also ask your student to use KWL, know, want to know, learned. So they have to know what they're supposed to learn. Try to understand the context before they read comprehensively. Try to find out to relate the information related to the text or to the topic. This will help your student to understand. Yes, I think this one that's one is the teaching skill, macro skill to a student. It is very important for you to teach your student macro skill, because this is the main skill that the students should understand in reading, in English reading comprehension. Maybe later we'll talk about the micro, known as macro one. I think that's all today. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.